journalists and the British media finally get their trial, Prince Andrew has failed to get Virginia's civil case where she alleges he sexually assaulted her dismissed. His lawyers said it should be thrown out, citing a 2009 settlement agreement with Epstein, but Judge Kaplan ruled that Virginia's claim can be heard. I'm old enough to remember every article from the summer of 2019 that equated Prince Andrew's friendship with two convicted sex traffickers and credible allegations of rape, with the Sussexes taking a private jet for vacation that was paid for by Elton John, not even paid for by the taxpayer. And Andrew's actions were portrayed as less objectionable. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, being the scapegoat of an alleged pedophile is one of the vilest acts committed by the UK press and the British royal family. It's beyond disgusting, and it sickens me that this has been their approach. The royal family wanted a royal trial, and now it gets a royal trial, but not for the person you would think they wanted it for. Prince William authorized Jason Knopf to issue a statement trying to help the Daily Mail win its appeal against the Duchess of Sussex. And now, that case didn't go anywhere. Daily Mail lost its case against Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. And now, the worst scenario, the worst nightmare of the royal family is finally coming true. We shall have a court trial, not for Meghan, but for Prince Andrew. Hello, my name is Brian, and welcome back to Sussex Squad Family TV on YouTube. Kindly hit that like and subscribe button for daily and consistent content. And a major breakthrough is happening currently in Windsor as Prince Andrew's sweat glands begin making up for lost time. Prince Randy Andy sweat glands begin making up for lost time. A major medical breakthrough is currently happening in Windsor. The man who says he cannot sweat, Prince Randy Andy, due to a medical condition, must probably be sweating currently after this news has come out that the case is going to trial. We are going to trial, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to trial. The royal family wanted Meghan in court. For what? Because she fell in love with the prince and stood up to an abusive, toxic, racist tabloid that bullied her every single day. Prince William authorized Jason Knopf to issue a statement against Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. The carnival of so-called experts were up in arms over an irrelevant statement given by Jason Knopf against Meghan in court, authorized by Prince William. And now, the irrelevant statement didn't materialize to anything in court. It didn't help the Daily Mail with absolutely anything. Meghan won her appeal. She won at the High Court twice, not once, but twice, 2 times. And now, the royal family clearly wanted that case to go to trial. And it failed. And now we will get a trial, not a Meghan case against the Daily Mail, but a trial against Randy Andy in court. And actually, Prince Andrew has been accused by Virginia for being a person who was passed on to Prince Andrew. Now, these are the details of this that I want to talk about today. Judges have ruled the sexual assault lawsuit against Prince Andrew can move ahead. A federal judge in New York Wednesday denied a motion to dismiss a lawsuit against Prince Andrew filed by Virginia, a woman who alleges she was sexually trafficked to the royal when she was underage. Miss Virginia's complaint is neither unintelligible nor vague nor ambiguous, Judge Lewis Kaplan wrote in the ruling. It alleges discrete incidents of sexual abuse in particular circumstances at 3 identifiable locations. It identifies to whom it attributes that sexual abuse. Whoa, 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 whoa. Things are not going well for Prince Randy Andy. Things are not going well for Prince Randy Andy. His sex capades are finally catching up to Prince Randy Andy, Prince Andrew. And now he's going to need his mommy's big fat bank account to help him out pay his legal bills and also protect his dearly beloved son. Mommy will have to protect Randy Andy, and mommy has been doing a lot of work to protect Prince Randy Andy. And things still are not looking out well for Prince Randy Andy. And according to reports actually that I've read and I have seen, it is the fact that Prince Randy Andy may have to pay Virginia up to $10 million in this case should he lose. Now, we don't know if Prince Andy will just say that he won't be taking part in the case if he defaults in this case after his recent attempts to get this case thrown out have indeed failed. One can only imagine what it's going to do. So the next few months ahead of us will be extremely, extremely interesting. And for Prince Andrew, I think the best thing for him to do would be to just settle the case and pay Virginia a lot of money. If he does that, he still looks so much bad. Mommy will have to foot all those legal bills in addition to the settlement that they'll have to pay Virginia. And right now, Virginia holds all the cards. She holds everything. At this point, members of the royal family should just be able to just give Virginia a blank check for her to put in the number of any amount she chooses to put in at this point. Now, Virginia alleged in the lawsuit that the late financier Jeffrey Epstein trafficked her and forced her to have sex with his friends, including the prince, and that Andrew was aware she was underage, 17 in the US at the time. She alleges the prince sexually abused her at Epstein's private island in the US Virgin Islands, at his mansion in Manhattan, and at his former girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell's home in London. I'm really sorry to Virginia for every single thing that she has been through. Now, Prince Andrew has denied the allegations and said he cannot sweat. Well, I'm really thinking that the BBC interview, whoever told him to do that interview with the BBC really put Andrew in a very difficult spot. Now, Prince Andrew has denied the allegations and had moved to dismiss the suit. And the ruling sets up a dramatic series of legal proceedings for Queen Elizabeth II, the third child, that could have major ramifications for Buckingham Palace. The ruling sets up a dramatic series of legal proceedings for Queen Elizabeth II, third child, that could have major ramifications for Buckingham Palace. The long-running allegations against Andrew have already dramatically tarnished his public standing, and he stepped back from royal duties in late 2019. Andrew has until July 14 to potentially answer questions about the case under oath. Following a ruling made by Kaplan last year, if the case is not settled, Prince Andrew could face a trial date between September and December 2022. You know, karma has a way of going back to the royal family, the firm, after every single thing they tried to pull on Meghan. You saw what Prince William did, trying to help the Daily fail its court case. In a court case that Meghan had sued the Daily Fail for breach of copyright and privacy for publishing extracts of a letter to Thomas Markle. Prince William tried to help a UK tabloid against Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, a person who members of the royal family, including Buckingham Palace, that was actually reached out and asked for a comment and said it does not comment on legal proceedings. However, they felt the need to assist the Daily Fail in its court case against someone they call a much-loved member of the royal family. Karma is coming back towards these people. Karma is coming for these people. Karma is coming for them. They wanted a trial and they get their trial date today. Prince Andrew, I hope you answer for every single thing you did to Virginia. Now, Andrew has until July 14 to potentially answer questions about the case under oath following a ruling made by Kaplan last year. If the case is not settled, Prince Andrew could face a trial date between September and December 2022. Buckingham Palace declined to comment, saying we will not comment on what is an ongoing legal matter. Virginia's attorney, Sigrid Mcauley, said the judge's ruling is another important step in Virginia's heroic and determined pursuit of justice as a survivor of sex trafficking. Congratulations, Virginia. Congratulations. Finally, the royals will be facing a trial. This isn't just a trial against Prince Andrew. It's a trial that the royal family are going to be dreading. Every single thing will be revealed in this trial. Prince Andrew has to face hours of depositions. He has to answer every single question under oath. Remember, Kensington Palace, Buckingham Palace, Clarence House authorized Jason Knopf to issue a statement against Meghan, hoping her case against the Daily Fail would go to trial. They failed, and now they have to put up with Andrew going to court to answer for his sexual abuse of Virginia. I hope that Virginia gets her justice for every single thing that happened to her. Now, the civil suit stems from the sprawling and disturbing allegations against Epstein, the wealthy sex offender who befriended a series of powerful men despite a sketchy history. Epstein pleaded guilty in 2008 to state prostitution charges and in July 2019 was indicted on federal sex trafficking charges. Prosecutors accused him of carrying out a decades-long scheme of sexual abuse of underage girls, flying them on private planes to his properties in Florida, New York, New Mexico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. He died by suicide in prison before he could face trial. Maxwell, his former girlfriend and close associate, was arrested in 2020 and accused of facilitating the abuse scheme. A federal jury convicted her in December on 5 federal counts, including sex trafficking, a minor, and conspiracy. All of Prince Andrew's friends have gone down. Prince Andrew, you are the next one in line. And mommy's fat paycheck may be the only thing that may save Prince Andrew from having to go and face a full trial. That may be the only thing that could potentially save Randy Andy from going to a full trial. Although even if they do pay up, which will be millions of dollars, in compensation to Virginia. Basically, Virginia holds all the cards. She could just say the royal family would probably just give her a blank check and say, put the number you want, put the money that you want, any amount, in the blank check. Virginia holds all the cards. And such a heroic woman, such a heroic woman, such a heroic woman. I applaud her. It's not easy doing this. It is not easy. I applaud her for what she's doing. What does this ruling actually mean? The ruling actually means on Wednesday allowed the lawsuit to continue, but he did not determine the facts or validity of the case. The Prince attorneys had argued that Virginia's lawsuit violated the terms of a 2009 settlement agreement with Epstein in Florida, in which she agreed to a general release of claims against Epstein and others. That settlement, which was released to the public last week, shows that Epstein paid Virginia $500,000 to drop the case without any admission of liability or fault. The Prince's name does not explicitly appear as a party. However, Virginia's attorney David Bois argued the settlement is irrelevant to her claim against the Prince, noting Andrew did not know about it at the time and that it didn't apply to him. In the ruling, Kaplan wrote that both sides put forth reasonable interpretations of the settlement's meaning. The agreement, therefore, is ambiguous. Accordingly, the determination of the meaning of the release language in the 2009 agreement must await further proceedings. Virginia brought her case under the Child Victims Act, a New York state law enacted in 2019 that temporarily expanded the statute of limitations in child sex abuse cases to give survivors more opportunities to seek justice. Prince Andrew's attorneys argued that the law is unconstitutional, but the judge rejected the argument, citing another judge's analysis that this line of argument was creative but without merit. Further, the judge denied the defense's request for a clearer statement of facts from Virginia, writing in his opinion that Prince Andrew will naturally obtain more details about the claims during the pre-trial discovery process. Kaplan also rejected the defense assertion that Virginia's claims in the complaint are vague or ambiguous. What is it that Virginia alleges? In her claims made prior to filing her lawsuit, Virginia alleged that in 2001, Epstein brought her to London, where she was introduced to Prince Andrew and went dancing at a nightclub with Epstein, Maxwell, and the Prince. In a BBC interview broadcast in 2019, Virginia said she had been taken to the Trump nightclub where Virginia alleged Andrew asked her to dance and was sweating all over me. Andrew has denied the claims, telling the BBC in 2019 it didn't happen. I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened. I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady, none whatsoever. He claimed in the same interview that he could not sweat. Prince Andrew claimed in the interview that he could not sweat. Well, right now he must be sweating due to a rare medical condition, and that on the night he is alleged to have had sex with Virginia, he was in fact taking his daughter to a party at a Pizza Express restaurant in Woking, southwest of London. Virginia's lawyers asked Andrew in court filings to provide documents proving both of those claims. Andrew's team responded that he was unable to do so because he has no documents proving a medical condition that prevents Prince Andrew from sweating. And could not identify anyone he encountered at the pizza restaurant. I think one thing is for sure, that if a prince goes to a restaurant, every single person in that restaurant would identify this guy is a prince of the UK. Take pictures of him. There are no such pictures whatsoever. In addition to that, the Met Police, which swears its allegiance to the Queen of England, the Queen of the UK, Queen Elizabeth, mother to Prince Andrew, were actually reported to have closed down the case and are never investigating any of what happened between Prince Andrew, Virginia, and Epstein. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. However, karma is coming for the royal family. Every single thing that you do to others shall be done to you. And now every single thing that the royal family wanted for Meghan, they wanted a trial, a spectacle where UK tabloids can bully Meghan however they please, that continue their abuse and vilification of this beautiful, remarkable woman, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. They wanted that spectacle. They wanted it. And now they have to face the fact that Meghan is free. Meghan is happy. Meghan is thriving. While a huge amount of problems are popping up every single day for the royal family. Prince Andrew's case in particular. Now Prince Andrew has to face going to trial for his crimes against Virginia. Mommy has a big fat bank at her disposal. She can end this immediately. And $10 million is actually the minimum that Virginia could make in this case, in this civil suit against Prince Andrew. It's not a criminal case, so Randy Andy can't go to prison. However, the Queen will have to pay a large amount of money, taxpayer money, to cover for Randy Andy and protect his son. And even if the Queen does that, it will reflect so badly on the UK monarchy. So badly. Every single thing that they did and put Meghan through is coming back to them. And I think that even they can clearly see it. If I can, you can, we all can see it. And I'm hoping that Virginia gets her justice after every single pain that she's been through. She deserves to get justice. No weapon formed against Meghan ever prospered. And clearly the royal family is now facing what they did to Meghan is now happening to them through Prince Andrew. No comfort for the Duke. Virginia's claim goes ahead, and things are going from bad to worse for Prince Andrew's continued involvement in a case about sex with a trafficked minor being framed as an inconvenience to the Queen and her 75-year budding party. The Jubilee, the Queen's Jubilee, is starting to get on my nerves, to be honest with you. This is a woman that has been sexually abused and trafficked. Allegedly, the Queen's son has taken part of every single thing that has happened to Virginia, the pain she's had to endure. And it makes me sick that every single member of the carnival of so-called experts, instead of covering this case, one thing that I've noticed is that they're closing off comment section on anything having to talk about Prince Andrew. It's called palace protection. The BBC closes off its comment section. The Telegraph, the Daily Fail, Sky News, every single media house in the UK closes off its comment section to protect Randy Andy, the Queen's son. Please tell me if that is what you call freedom of the press. There is no freedom of the press in the UK. It's not freedom of the press. This is palace protection. They could have protected Meghan, as you can see, but they chose not to. The palace chooses to protect someone who's been accused of participating in the sex trafficking of a minor, Virginia. And I hope that Prince Andrew faces justice for his actions. Now, there's a section of British society determined to keep the royals untouchable and beyond reproach. Clearly, we can see that through Prince Andrew. Comment sections of different UK tabloids, Sky News, BBC News, they've all closed off their comment section to protect Randy Andy. And now, The royal family, Prince William and Kate, wanted a trial for Meghan's legal case against the Daily Mail, with William authorizing Jason North to help the Daily Mail case. Today, the royal family gets a trial for the Queen's son, Prince Andrew. Karma truly has a way of getting at the firm. Hello, my name is Brian, and thank you so much for joining us on this podcast video. With so much love from Sussex Squad Family TV, thank you for tuning in and watching our videos. Kindly hit that like and subscribe button and give us your thoughts on this recent development. Is it karma? Tell me what you think. I want to hear directly from you, family. One thing is for sure, I'm hoping for Virginia to get justice for every single thing that has happened to her. Today, we'll talk about the false tale of Meghan's £1 in damages, a case study of bad journalism from UK tabloids. Now, sites like The Guardian, the BBC, Sky News all reported that Meghan will be receiving £1, which is obviously a tale of bad journalism. We know Meghan will receive millions in copyright, but they chose to say Meghan is receiving £1 in damages. Now, as a journalism student, I think it would be insulting for me to call people who work for UK tabloids journalists. I think we'll just call them or go by what Prince Harry called them: pirates with press cards, or the carnival of so-called experts. Hello, my name is Brian, and welcome back to Sussex Squad Family TV on YouTube. Kindly hit that like and subscribe button for daily and consistent content. First of all, I'd like to say Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, stood up to UK tabloids' biggest bully, the Daily Mail, UK tabloids, and she won. Now, although it is untrue, much of the British public now believes that despite losing its long and bitter court battle against Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, the Mail newspaper group has only been required to pay £1 in damages, which is an obvious lie. This shows us the much of the sway that UK tabloids have on members of the public. And I have to say thank you. Thank you to people who live in Liverpool, who have banned the Sun and even coined the phrase, "Don't buy the Sun." The Sun owned by Rupert Murdoch. The Sun is a bigoted tabloid and even is banned in several parts of the country for being too divisive, hateful, and bigoted. And I'm thankful for people like that who've seen how UK tabloids operate and say, no, I don't want to be a part of that kind of business model. People in Liverpool, people like Prince Harry, who said the same thing. I don't want to play the media game. The media game takes lives. It took the life of his mother. He wasn't about to sit by, relax, and watch as they take the life of his dearly beloved wife, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. He protected his wife and took her to a safe place back in California, in the United States of America. Now, this thing that UK tabloids were pushing, that Meghan had made only £1 in damages in her court case, was very much untrue. How this categorically false notion, the words of the Duchess spokesperson, gained currency is no secret. It was the result of journalistic misrepresentation by pirates with press cards, or laziness on a grand scale. Indeed, it offers a case study in collective bad workmanship in the UK news industry. The real facts were never complicated or hard to establish. The order of the Court of Appeal dated 16th December 2021, which brought the case to an end, states at paragraph 5, the appellant, the Mail Group, shall by 7th January 2022 pay the respondent, the Duchess of Sussex, the confidential sum agreed between the parties as set out in the confidential Annex A hereto, following judgment in respect of the claim for copyright infringement. Now, in other words, the newspaper company agreed to pay her an undisclosed sum in compensation for breaching her copyright. The next paragraph, paragraph 6, says this: the appellant shall by 7th January 2022 pay the respondent the sum of £1 by way of nominal damages for misuse of private information, otherwise known as breach of privacy. From this, it should have been obvious the Duchess received from the Mail on Sunday what are routinely referred to in legal journalism as undisclosed damages, and those damages have since been described by her spokesperson as substantial. Now, but that is not how UK tabloids reported it. The Mail's headline showed the way Mail on Sunday will pay Meghan Markle just £1 in damages for privacy breach after losing court battle over letter to her father, Thomas Markle. The Times followed Mail to pay Meghan just £1 for privacy invasion win, and The Guardian, Meghan to receive just £1 from Mail on Sunday for privacy intrusion. And the BBC, taxpayer-funded BBC, Meghan to receive £1 in damages after privacy case. And Sky News, Meghan gets £1 in damages over Mail on Sunday privacy case. A case study in very, very poor journalism. It's not worthy to call these people journalists. They are not. They are pirates with press cards. Now, even the BBC, Sky News, every single UK tabloid, the Times, you've seen what they've done with the likes of Andrew, closing off comment section on anything, any news story pertaining to Prince Andrew. Comment section gets immediately closed. But when it pertains to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, every single one of them joins in on bullying and the abuse of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Now, that is what I call palace protection for Prince Andrew. They were willing to protect other members of the royal family who lied and are willing to tell the truth about me and my husband. Those are words spoken by the Duchess of Sussex in the Oprah interview. And as you can see by UK tabloids, each of them are a protection racket for each other's criminal behavior. They protect one another. And the fact that such poor reporting from UK tabloids that Meghan gets £1 in damages over Mail on Sunday privacy case was reported by several UK tabloids. Even Sky News, BBC, taxpayer-funded BBC reported that in that manner. And that's just a sample. There were exceptions. News organizations that did not jump at an angle that was eye-catching, clickbait and misleading, but they were few. And the just £1 message traveled around the world. And this was sleazy, very, very sleazy on the side of UK tabloids. But it's true, the perpetrators would undoubtedly whine. Just look at paragraph 6. She really did just get £1 for the privacy breach. Okay, it may literally be true, but to lead your news report with that fact is to mislead your readers, which you know all too well. UK tabloids are happy to mislead their readers. We've seen that happening every single time. They publish lies about Prince Harry and Meghan. They publish an apology and put an apology where you can't even spot it. And they bury the apology after they've already published the lie. That is the behavior of the so-called UK tabloids. And they love misleading their readers because the actual outcome of the case was completely different. What these journalists have done is like reporting a football match in which City beat United 5-1. I'm sorry to all Manchester United fans in advance for this. With the headline, United score against City. That you've seen that headline. It's misleading. And it is not good enough. It is not good enough that they mentioned the confidential payment for copyright lower down in their reports. They know very well that the angle leading their news report is the one that sticks with most of their readers or viewers. If you doubt that, imagine the likely impact of a headline that was actually faithful to the reality. Mail on Sunday pays Meghan substantial damages. Those who chose the just £1 angle not only misled their readers and viewers, and they not only went with the hard in a way journalists are not supposed to do, they also played along with the Mail's systematic misrepresentation of a case it was always doomed to lose, and which in the end it lost very badly indeed. Let's spell that out, shall we? Let's spell that out. The Mail, having recklessly published large parts of a deeply personal letter in obvious breach of the law, and having duly lost in court not once but twice against a mixed race woman, was embarrassing to the Daily Fail. Has since then cynically played every trick it knows to give the impression its defeat was a victory. And by promoting the just £1 line, the Times, the Guardian, the BBC and the rest played along with that. They assisted the lawbreaker in misleading the public. They knew perfectly well how to report a legal settlement involving undisclosed damages, but they did something sleazy instead. If they have any defense, I don't see it. Not least because the idea that the Duchess would accept nominal damages for the breach of her privacy wasn't even news. As long ago as last March, her lawyers served notice publicly in court that in the event she was vindicated, she would seek only nominal damages with respect to privacy. And they talked about it a while back. And what is the reality of this? So what is the real story of the Duchess's damages? As we have seen, she sued both for breach of privacy and breach of copyright. Although both offer remedies in the form of damages, with breach of copyright there is another option, account of profits, where the amount of compensation is linked to the financial advantage gained by the party that has breached the law. And Meghan did not ask for damages, she asked for an account of profit. The amount possibly could be in the millions and millions of dollars. The Duchess chose to pursue her compensation through account of profits, which meant that copyright had to be the route. That is why her lawyers told the court last March that she would be happy with only nominal damages with respect to her privacy claim. In principle, establishing how much money the newspaper group made by illegally publishing the Duchess letter should have involved a trial in which the finances of Associated Newspapers Limited would have been placed under close public scrutiny. Plainly anxious to avoid that, the newspaper group has offered the Duchess a sum of money sufficiently large to satisfy her and her lawyers that there was nothing to be gained by proceeding further. This is the confidential sum agreed between the two parties, referred to in paragraph 5 of the December court order. It is a waste of time speculating about how much that sum was. There aren't even any relevant precedents to go by. The Duchess's spokesperson has said it was substantial, and we can assume that it was, because having won in both the High Court and the Court of Appeal, she had no reason to accept any less than the most she thought a judge might award. In cases like this before the English courts, the damages are usually considerably lower than the costs, and that matter remains to be tidied up. Having lost and lost badly, the newspaper group is liable for most of the Duchess's costs, which are very high. Already, Associated Newspapers has been obliged to pay £750,000 on account, and there is more to come. Even before the appeal prolonged the process, Duchess's total costs were estimated at around £1.5 million. By now, they must be in excess of £2 million. The Mail Group, which is owned by a billionaire, Lord Rothermere, will probably have to pay around 3/4 of that. And remember that the Mail Group also has to pay all its own legal bills, perhaps another £1 million, meaning the Daily Mail paid a lot of money to Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. The price of breaching people's basic rights can be extremely high, and so it should be. When journalists and news organizations suggest, in defiance of the facts, that it can be as little as £1, they are only serving the interests of wrongdoers and lawbreakers. I want to repeat that last part. When journalists, people who call themselves journalists, and new organizations suggest, in defiance of the facts, that when someone breaks the law, that damages can be as little as £1, they are only serving the interest of the wrongdoers and the lawbreakers, which is what the UK tabloids want to continue doing. Now, I'm glad that Meghan won. I'm glad that Meghan won. The royal family tried to make Meghan go to trial. The fact that to drag her all the way back from the United States to the UK to come to a trial against the Daily Mail, to continue its public vilification of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and Prince William and Kate Middleton were behind all this. No one can mention to me otherwise. Every single carnival of so-called experts and pirates with press cards say the leaks are coming from Kensington Palace. The negativity towards Prince Harry and Meghan are coming from the palace, members of the royal family, the palace source and the royal AD, Prince William and Kate Middleton. Who is the head of Kensington Palace? Prince William. Who has benefited the most from the negativity that Harry and Meghan have experienced? Prince William and Kate Middleton. No one else has gained more than both of them. No one. And the fact that the Meghan actually won against the Daily Mail shall be remembered throughout history. A mixed-race woman stood up against the most racist tabloid in the UK, the Daily Mail, and won. She won. And she's an inspiration to so many women, girls all around the world. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, truly is. Now, these UK tabloids, Hugh Grant once said that UK tabloids serve as a protection racket for one another. They protect each other so they can continue the illegal behavior. Why would they say that Meghan won £1 when in reality that's not the true story? As I said, it's like saying City beats Manchester United 5-1 only for tomorrow to be reported that Manchester United has scored 1 goal against Manchester City. That's misleading the public deliberately, which UK tabloids have been doing so much. Again, I'm sorry to Manchester United fans for using this example. And I'm glad that Meghan won. And now the royal family has its own problems. They wanted Meghan at trial and they failed. They failed. They have long treated Meghan as a runaway slave. Enough is enough. Now they get their trial, but for someone they've been protecting for so long, the Queen's son, Prince Andrew. And I look forward for justice being served. The UK, something needs to be done about your media landscape. It needs change. You don't have media, you have sycophants. And it seems like a large section of the UK society wants to protect that the royal family to continue its illegal behaviors in the UK. Look at them protecting Prince Andrew. All comment section of UK tabloids, Sky News, BBC, all closed down. The same people that, when they're talking about Andrew, it's all closed down. The same people that wrote this bogus article that Meghan had just won just £1 from the Daily Mail, which was obviously untrue. Something needs to be done about the UK tabloid media landscape, and it needs to be done now. Give me your thoughts. I want to hear directly from you. Tell us your comments. I want to hear directly from you. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for daily and consistent content. Help us grow our family on YouTube. With so much love from Sussex Family TV. Stay tuned to our next video. Hello, Sussex Family TV on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed our video podcast today. Kindly like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your support means the absolute world to us. Please like, and subscribe. Help us grow our family on YouTube. Stay tuned for our next video.